Hey everyone, this is UC from iTradePrice. Welcome to the weekly episode. Let's get started here. Amazon. Let's get into the weekly chart. So, what is going on? Still in an uptrend. The weekly chart is a little bit evenly distributed. You can see with the bottom wick as well as the top wick, and then a little bit of body right here, right? So again, a neutral bar from that perspective, because you can't really say this is bearish or bullish. And one thing really that messed up this chart, I think, was this last 1 minute drop. I don't know if it's real or not, but it looks pretty I don't know if it's a glitch or something in the system or what, but it dropped like more than 100 points in 1 minute and then reversed back up. So it is what it is, right? So I mean, there is a data point that shows the chart is like that. But anyways, so depending on if you consider this real or not, but let's just say we do right now, that is a bottom wick. That meant that the stock dropped below its breakout level earlier last week, and then it managed to close back up. So on a daily basis, this is still a bearish engulfing bar, right? That does show there is short-term weakness in the market in this name. We are comfortably above the 50 and the 20 SMA, which are these green and yellow lines respectively. So we are above that, and we did break out from this neckline, right? We had this left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then we had this neckline that we broke out from last week. But then we just did not see much upside follow through. In fact, we saw weakness right here. We saw weakness right here where the stock would open strong, but then we would just sell off, right? So that's what happened. So we're still managing to manage to close and remain above the 32.45 critical, which was a resistance on the way up, right, all the way here, and now it should act as some support. So we'll see if we get some sort of a green daily close right here. That will be a nice tell that buyers are stepping in on this 50 SMA support, and then this retest of the broken resistance turn support now. So let's see if we get a bullish bar here in the daily time frame, Monday, Tuesday, and then we can start targeting it back up. Or if we just kind of close below it, or if it's a bearish price action, we need to see some continuation towards the downside and a close below the neckline and this 50 SMA to start feeling bearish on this name. Okay, Apple weekly chart. We have this nice bullish reversal here a few weeks ago, right, when we had this bullish piercing in the weekly time frame right here. This was the nice pattern to trade off of. Since then, we have managed to remain above. We have this double bottom right here in the weekly time frame, and then we have this inverted bar, which is usually considered by itself a bearish looking bar, right? But we have to see it in the context of this trend right now. We did manage to close above the week before, the high of the week before, right, which is this right here. Yes, we have some short-term weakness because of this top wick in the weekly time frame, but we managed to close above this 117, 118 price range, so which is not bad. Okay, so if we move to the daily time frame, we are still in this nice little uptrend, right? Right here, making higher lows, right? We held this level right here, higher lows right now. So it's just sort of this range that it likes to kind of trade in, right? So we are in this range right now. So until this range is broken to the downside, this is just seen as a buying opportunity, right? Unless we see a move below 117 and start seeing some closures below 117, yes, we can say that the trend is getting a little bit heavier, and we can see some prices down move to the downside. But if we do move down even below, let's say this range right here, the next range would kind of become like this, right? Because this was a good, nice support. So we would expect 112 area to become a support if we are to get into this range right here. But just by looking at the price action itself, I have not seen any major downside follow through, right? You get these red bars, right here, but immediately after the red day, you don't see another consecutive down day, right? Nothing like that. So nothing like that. We'll see what happens on Monday or Tuesday, but nothing like that. We got to pause always. So that means buyers like to dip their toes in the stock and get and buy it. We have the earnings coming up later maybe in a couple of weeks, so that can keep the stock elevated a little bit, right? But just wanted to let you know that this is how it looks like in the technical analysis. Netflix weekly stock, nice uptrend. We did manage to kind of get above this short-term sort of resistance here. Well, not short-term, I would say, just this multi-week resistance line that we had going on, right? We did manage to close above that nicely, but still we couldn't really see an upside follow-through move within the week, and it kind of closed back below this resistance line right here, right? We have touch point right here, starting from here, and then right here. So it would have been nice if we had managed to close above this, but we did not. We have earnings this week, so that can really drive this stock a little crazy, and just kind of, volatility will be pretty much high for this name. It will move kind of like everywhere, so I will personally avoid trading this name until after earnings, or if I see some intraday move, sure, you can play it against some key support levels, right? For example, this one right here is a key support level, right? It has multiple touch points here. When it broke out from there in this banner right here, it did kind of move up nicely. So now this breakout level becomes sort of a key support area, 516. So any move down, look for a first touch bounce to play from here. But with earnings, I believe on Tuesday after close, the premiums will be super high, and if the stock does not keep on moving in your intended direction, it will decay pretty fast. So I think there are better charts to trade for this week than Netflix. So kind of avoid that if I were you. Okay, so this is Nvidia weekly chart, so we can actually extend this one right now. So you can see it is still in a nice healthy uptrend, and actually this one is the most, I would say, relatively stronger ones. You can see on any dip, you don't really see a nice big red bar down. You just see a little bit of profit taking in the stock, kind of remains towards the top end of its weekly range, right? So it's just not selling off like the way other charts you see, and even the sell-offs are on the low volume. So that's kind of good for bulls, in my opinion. Here's the daily chart, consistently nicely above its short-term moving averages. Nothing wrong with that chart over there. You can see the moves again. Like I said, yes, it gets sold off on any strength in the morning, right? So right here, the stock closes towards the low end of its daily range. Right here as well, you have three touch points at 574. That is a good resistance level. And now it is somewhat looks like it is, a little heavy. You have this pattern here that can be a head and shoulder pattern with this 546 as the neckline to look for any support. We have already one touch point, two touch points right here, and so see if we get another touch point and a bounce, and if we get a daily bar that closes nice and green, or it's a hammer looking bar, or a bullish engulfing bar, whatever, from this range, that can be a good tell that this is a good support level to kind of go long against 546 level and kind of target the upside move. But if we break this neckline right here on 546, then definitely the next level to watch would be this whole 529 to 522 range, because that's where the stock held above that level, and we got these two bullish trend bars from that level. So that means the buyers are pretty strong in this area. So any move down, look for this support 522 to 529 to hold, right? So one can play puts towards this level if we break the neckline. And then you'll have to cover soon, because we have this trend line coming up and then all the support from this area. So in case if we get that move down in an extended way, look for that. Look for the buyers to step in around 50 SMA, as that will catch up as well in the daily time frame. Okay, here's the Boeing stock. Let me show you actually a monthly time frame for this stock. So this is all that March COVID drama, right? The stock tanked down, and since then we have held pretty nicely actually. And if you look at the monthly bars, they're not bad really. You know, yes, we saw that move down, and since then we have these two double doji bars, and then we had a little bit of follow through to the upside. We gave up that move, but then again, no downside follow through. In fact, we're just holding that level sideways, you know, that range with weakness that gets bought, right? We have this 144 area that has provided good monthly support, and now this October so far has been a very narrow range month, right? We have only seen price from 160 to, let's say, 175, so that's only $15 worth of price range. So I think it is getting ready, very tight, and getting ready to kind of, I would actually think that this would break out to the upside. That's the way price is right now. We have bottom wicks. We have price closing towards the top end of its weekly range, and even let's go to the weekly time frame. So here's the weekly. It's kind of moving sideways to down in this channel that you can see right here, right? It's been moving like this, and you don't see big downside follow through to any weakness, right? This was all weakness. We got this 1 week of down move, and then we got this immediately bullish piercing. Then again, we had this weakness, sideways consolidation, whatever you want to call it. We got this move down. We got the breakdown from this level right here, but immediately we saw a bottom wick and a little bit move to the upside. And now again, we are in this range, right? And you see there is a lack of bearish price action in the weekly time frame. We do have these red bars, but they have both. Last week's we saw buyers dipping in and taking it all the way up and closing the price right here around 167, 168, right? So now let's dig into the daily time frame and see how can we play this one, how can we time this. So in the daily time frame, you know, we have more closings below the 50 SMA, right, which is the green line, right, which is this this green line right here. So I'll just highlight it a little bit. So we have more closing right below this line, so that's bearish. But and any close that we get above the 50 SMA immediately gets sold, right? We got this close above it, sold. We got this close above it. Again, we couldn't really hold that level and just kind of saw the price come down. Again, right here, we saw the price come down. And now again, we are touching this trend line, right, where the sellers show up. So again, we closed right at the 50 SMA, right? We closed right at the 50 SMAs. Let's see if we see the move down. If we see the move down, yeah, you can play it quickly towards the downside, but I would want to see and that if the stock opens up weak but then goes back up, we'll probably have a lot of stop orders sitting here, right, around 173 levels. So this can just shoot up pretty nicely and big. with those shorts taken out. We have this big volume on Friday as well, so we'll see what happens. But again, keep an eye on a scenario like that, where the stock opens down red and then goes back green up, shorts taken out, and when we see a huge rally back to the upside. And you have this sort of inverted head and shoulders as well, where the stock has held this 159 area very nicely, right, for the multiple occasions. So that's, and again, on the weakness, I would look for to get it long against 159 support level. Only if we get below 159, yes, things are getting bearish, but not before that. Okay, so here's the Tesla chart, weekly time frame, nice uptrend. It was getting tight, right, where everybody was talking about this triangle formation. We did manage to get above that triangle. However, we did not really see a strong close, right, towards the so we did manage to get above this level, but you can see the weekly bar in itself is not that bullish looking. And we have earnings this coming week as well, so that can be a really good catalyst for this stock to move one way or the other. In the daily time frame, we are maintaining this range right now. See the stock managed to get above 436 level, right, which is this one right here, and it has managed to remain above that. So unless we see breakdown from that level and some closure below the 20 SMA, which is this yellow line, right, we have closures all above the 20 SMA since in the recent history. So unless we start getting a close below that level, below this trend line, it's hard to be bearish on this name, right? I would like to see maybe a touch of this 20 SMA catches up, a nice bullish bar, and then you're gonna go get long against the low of that bullish bar to target more upside. But with earnings coming up, this anything can go, if it can just open low, shoot back up, or open strong and then just sell off. I mean, again, with earnings, you don't know what's going to happen. It becomes a gamble. The technical analysis becomes a little hard to depend on that. So we'll see how the earnings affect the price action, and then we can play one way or the other once they're announced. Okay, here's the BYND chart. Let's look at the weekly first. Good, nice uptrend, right? We have this past week had some selling, some profit taking after these multiple weeks of upside move. Let's look at the daily time frame. Still holding the nice uptrend, more bullish trend bars, very minimal follow through to the down days. So nothing wrong with the chart right now. I think it's a nice healthy pullback that can be bought. And you can see right now on Friday we did see a sort of a bearish engulfing day, right, where the stock opened up strong, but then it closed below the close of its previous day, so that makes it bullish, bearish engulfing, right? But we are holding this range right now between 182 and 189. Anything above 189, yes, you can start leaning back bullish and play the recent swing high around 197, which was the resistance on this recent move up. So and any move down, I would look to get back into the stock around 180 level, because that will be the trend line, right, trend line support. And you can put your stop loss as the 20 SMA, which is trying to catch up right here in the daily time frame, or use 175 as super support, or even 166, which is a good weekly super support. We have multiple touch points around there. Or if you get a nice big move down, play a bull put spread, right? That could be a nice day to open a bull put credit spread against, let's say, you can go down multiple support levels, 1, 2, 3. So let's say 155 can be a good contract to sell on any move down, right? So kind of target that. But the chart in itself is just giving a pullback right now with the nice consolidation right here. If you get a nice bullish bar right here, that could be a nice tell that, hey, this level held and you can target the upside. Or if we go move down, I would be more interested to play the long in this name than the short right now, just because it's in the nice uptrend. It's getting close to this uptrend line, so I would imagine some buyers stepping in right here to hold and support this this price level. Okay, let's quickly take a look at the Qs as well. Here's the weekly chart. Nice uptrend right now, and there's with very minimal downside follow through, right? You can see that we have nice bullish trend bars in the past few weeks right here and right here, and any week, for example this week, right, it's pretty similar to what happened a couple of weeks ago where we had this inverted bar with a red weekly bar. So it can be a week like that. This is again the week, the bar in itself is bearish, but just the way it is and the place it is showing up with the higher low, it's you can't really call it a bearish move, right, in itself, right, because you can still see that the trend is up and there's nothing wrong. The chart is not broken. It's maintaining its let me show you the daily time frame. It's maintaining the inverted head and shoulder neckline that it broke out from, which was this level of 282 right here. That was the neckline, right, we broke out from, and then it has maintained that level, right. We did fill this gap late last week right here. So let's see if it holds this 286 or even 282 level where we open weak but then rally back up and give a nice bullish daily close. This will also kind of give these moving averages to catch up, where 50 SMA will again line up in the couple of days right here. 20 SMA is already trying to cross 50 right here, which is mostly considered a bullish sign in an uptrend, right. We had this uptrend going on, the stocks sold off, right. We got this nice correction, and then now where the 20 SMA also crossed the 50 towards the downside, but again this crossover was pretty shallow. There was so now we're seeing the move back up across above the 50 SMA as well. So we'll see if this ends up becoming a little flag kind of a move, and then we move back up towards the highs of the year right now, which is here at 303 for the Qs. So I'm looking for that kind of play. All right, we'll see what happens. Here is the SPY chart. We have the 20 and the 50 SMAs on the chart. Green one is the 50 as well. You can see that this is also in a nice uptrend right now, and somewhat holding this this channel right now. If I draw like this, again, it's not a pretty line, but you get the idea. Let me see if I have any tool that will allow me to draw a line. It would. So write something like this. We have a level, right? And if I do a channel right here, this one becomes a channel. This is a good retest of the neckline that I think SPY did the other day, right here, where the stock tried to break down from this neckline level, right, but it did not do it on Thursday. In fact, we got the nice bullish trend bar up, and now again we are seeing some sellers, right, where the stock managed to close weak on Friday. Let me zoom in a little bit, right, but again it's above, nicely above the neckline, still above, is making a higher low again. So we'll lean bullish than bearish right now for the overall market. Again, it's just considered a pullback right now with a sort of a flaggish kind of a move that it's giving, right? It looks like so. Let me draw that right there. I mean, it's not really a pretty looking flag, but you get the idea. and this was the neckline, right? So let's see, we should find some buyers or support right here in case the stock wants, the SPY wants to come down a little bit more, right? But to again get back into the bullish, we need to close back and rally past the high of Friday, and then we can see some nice move to the upside. Okay, all right, let's look quickly at the couple of names that I'm trying to find some swings. CVNA, nice weekly price action, bullish harami price action, where you have this hammer looking bar, not so hammer, but again a pause to the down week, right? We had this down week right here towards the highs, and then again buyers stepped in and did not really let the price go down. And in the daily time frame, we had this Thursday was a bullish engulfing day, right, where the stock held this support area around 206, 210 level right here all throughout the week, and then closed towards the a little bit top end of its weekly range, which is nice, with a little bit of bottom wick, and held the 20 SMA as well. So this can be a good swing candidate. Another one is PENN that I like. Weekly time frame, again bullish harami, no follow through to the down week, so which is nice. Earnings in the next week and a half or so, something like that, so just kind of be careful about that if you get into this one. But my intention would be to get out before the earnings are announced, for maybe an earnings run or something like that. And the daily time frame also looks nice. We had Thursday with the bullish engulfing, and then the stock managed to get past and close above its sort of a range, right? This was the range, so it closed above its range right here. So let's see if it tries to make this range, which is right here, 74 as the, sorry guys, I have a little one in the background. So so let's see if the stock tries to, because there's some pressure, right? There's some sellers that show up in this zone right here. So we'll see if they start showing up in this zone again. But first target can be a nice 74 to 75, and then eventually the breakout from this area. But I would imagine some pushback once we get there from the sellers, right? So just kind of be ready for that. Don't go full position. Maybe you can just trim a little bit once we move up, and then add back in once we kind of sell off from this resistance zone a little bit, and then add back more. But keep in mind the earnings, okay, which is a week and a half away. All right guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will get back to you guys next week. Like anything, like always, if you have questions, feedback, or anything else you like to touch base on, please reach out. Do not hesitate. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.